Marriage is a very fantastic institution, very wonderful institution. It's a beautiful institution, and I love it. But the truth is that not everybody is going to get married. Not everybody will get married either by choices that they've made or by the fact that it just did not happen. And also, not every marriage that ever happened will see the end of time. Not every marriage that ever happened will get to forever. Be that as it may, this is the truth, whether you like it or you do not like it. Well, I have no control of that statistics, but what I think that you and I have control over is how this action or inactions will affect the children directly or indirectly. Now, if you are married and you chose for whatever reason to go your separate ways, do yourself the favor, do the child the favor of not weaponizing the child or traumatizing the child. The child was not there from the beginning and should not face pain and pressure that they did not sign to. If you were mature enough to get married, if you are mature enough to say that, look, I don't want this anymore, you should be mature enough to protect the mental health, the emotions, and the physical well-being of the child. The choice was yours. Leave your children out of the toxicity. What happens is that it is not your decision to go your separate ways that is the problem. It is the toxicity and the conflicts that follow after that decision. Whether it was a reasonable decision, a well-thought decision, a brash decision, whatever the case, the truth is that the conflict that follows that choice you have made, that decision you have made, is what actually burns the child. Some of you weaponize children and you work overtime to run down either the man or the woman, the mother or the father before the child to score very cheap points that have long-lasting consequences. It is very possible to co-parent. It is very possible that even when separated, you can be very active and present in your child's life, because at this point you have to put the child first. A lot of childhood traumas are born out of unreasonable toxicity and uncivilized or the uncivilized pattern that most adults have used to go their separate ways. Secondly, you think that because you're still married, you're going to be exonerated. Not quite exactly. Some children who are even children of separated people are even doing better than some of you who are living together. It is worse off because I'm trying to be very nice, okay? I don't want to use that word. Because the toxic environment that you and your spouse have created by virtue of your inability to parent your children without carrying your filth and your baggage before their face is causing a problem. It's rubbing off on the children's well-being, their emotional well-being, their psychological well-being, and even their physical well-being. They are parents who are still living together in the name of a marriage, but the children are suffering at 100, either by their actions or their inactions. I want you to think about it. In all that you do, remember that the child's well-being is very important. And so if they didn't sign up for your choice of a life partner, if they didn't sign up for your choice of a husband or wife, please by all means, do very well to protect them. Do not burden them and pressure them with all kinds of unnecessary habits and all kinds of unnecessary toxic patterns. And at the end of the day, there are certain conversations that you will have to tide the child over. Realistically speaking, there are some conversations that you should have to tide the child over should you decide to go your separate ways. They may not like it, but they will understand. But what really makes it best is that you have matured enough to give them your presence and your blessings and your support and your involvement as parents without a toxic interference from whatever is going on with you and your significant other, should you choose to go your separate ways. Have a nice day.